to the video and welcome back to my channel Simplifying Science with Shilpa. So in the last three videos we have discussed about the reactions of acids and bases, and from today we'll discuss about salts. When acid and base react, they will give salt and water. So in the last videos we have seen some of the reactions in which salt is formed, but the basic neutralization reaction was when acid react with base, they will give salt plus water. Now salts also play a very important role in our day-to-day life, like the common salt NaCl which we use in our food. Next is bleaching powder, washing soda, baking powder. They all are the salts. Now when acid and base react, they will give salt and water. Now let's see some more types of salt. So when strong acid, you know about strong acid and weak acid, strong base and weak base. Strong acids are those which release more H plus ions, and strong bases are those which releases more hydroxide ions when dissociated in water. So when strong acid react with strong base, when strong acid react with strong base, they will give a neutral salt. Salt will be neutral. They will give a neutral salt. And what is the pH of neutral salt? 7. Second is when weak acid reacts with strong base, they will give basic salt, because this time base is strong. So basic salt. And the third one is when strong acid reacts with weak base this time. Weak base, they will give acidic acid, because acid is strong this time. They will give acidic salt. These are the three kinds of salt: neutral salt, basic salt and acidic salt. When strong acid react with strong base, neutral salt. When weak acid react with strong base, basic salt. And when strong acid react with weak base, then acidic salt, because acid is strong this time. Now let us see some of the reactions of salts, because salt act as a raw material for many of the reactions. So coming to the first one is NaOH. Sodium hydroxide. This is sodium hydroxide. We will see the formation of sodium hydroxide. So when NaCl, that is the common salt, is passed through water, or electrolysis of NaCl, which will give you NaOH. And NaCl in aqueous form, this is known as brine, B-R-I-N-E, brine. When it is passed through water or electrolysis of NaCl is done, then NaOH is formed, plus two gases are released in this process. First is the chlorine gas and second is the hydrogen gas. Chlorine at anode and hydrogen at cathode. Chlorine gas is released at anode and this is at cathode. Now you will see they will act as raw material for the other equations. Now in the next equation, this chlorine gas will act as a raw material in the production of bleaching powder. So second equation is of bleaching powder, and the formula is CaOCl2. This is bleaching powder. Now this chlorine gas will act as raw material, and when we react dry slaked lime, CaOH whole twice, this is dry in nature. When dry slaked lime is passed through chlorine gas, it will form CaOCl2, and we call this as chlorinated lime. So this Cl2 is acting as raw material here for in the production of bleaching powder. Third is baking soda. And the formula of baking soda is NaHCO3. Now again this NaCl will act as a raw material. NaCl when reacted with H2O plus CO2 plus NH3, it will form NaHCO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. This is baking soda. Now if we heat this baking soda, it will give you Na2CO3. NaHCO3 is when heated, it will form Na2CO3, and this is known as sodium carbonate or sodium carbonate or soda ash. Baking powder, baking soda also has some uses in the daily life. It is mostly used in the kitchens for making something crispy. Now baking powder is also produced from baking soda only. When this baking soda is reacted with any mild acid, then it will react to form baking powder. So you know acids contain H plus ion. So when this NaHCO3 is reacted with any mild edible acid, and acid contain H plus ion, so we can take any mild edible acid like tartaric acid. So this H plus indicate the H plus ions from mild edible acid. This is from mild edible acid, and it will react to give baking powder plus CO2 gas. Now in this process CO2 gas is evolved, and this CO2 gas is responsible for making the bread or cake fluffy or spongy. We add baking powder to make them fluffy or spongy, and to make something crispy we add baking soda. So this is the difference between baking soda and baking powder. Baking soda is used for making something crispy, and baking powder is used for making something soft and spongy. Next is washing soda. So I hope these are clear to you. Bleaching powder has also some uses in the daily life. It is used in the paper industry, it is used in the textile industries, and so on. You can read the uses from your books. And next is washing soda. Third one is washing soda. And for washing soda also we use sodium carbonate as the raw material. Fourth one is washing soda, and it is basically a recrystallized form of sodium carbonate. Washing soda, and the formula is Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. 10H2O. So Na2CO3. From where does this Na2CO3 come? When baking soda is heated. NaHCO3 is when heated, it will form Na2CO3. So Na2CO3 plus 10H2O will give you Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. This is washing soda, and you know the uses of washing soda to clean the clothes. Fifth one is plaster of Paris. POP, plaster of Paris. When gypsum is heated at particular temperature, it will lose its water, because after heating anything can lose the water or the moisture. So when gypsum is heated, that is CaSO4 dot 2H2O is when heated, it will form CaSO4 dot half H2O at 300 Kelvin. You note down this, that this temperature should be controlled, otherwise anhydrous POP is formed, and this reaction is reversible. CaSO4 dot half H2, this is gypsum, and this is POP. So these were all the reactions of the salts which are there in your book from this page. The reaction of salts. And last one is plaster of Paris. Yes, also when plaster of Paris, how this is reversible reaction? When CaSO4 dot half H2O. Now it already has half H2O. How much does it require to make it to 1.5 H2O? It will give KSO4.2H2O. This is gypsum and this is POP. And when we heat this, or whenever we mix POP in water, so much of heat is released. So that means this reaction is exothermic reaction. So from this we have completed everything in your NCERT book. I am using this NCERT books and you have to use this for your boards. NCERT reading is must for you. Every reaction is covered from this book. Sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, baking soda, washing soda, everything is covered. Then plaster of Paris, gypsum. So you just revise this chapter very well. The chapter number acid, bases and salt, chapter number 2. Start reading the NCERTs, read in between the lines, and if you have any doubt, comment down below. I will try my best to resolve each and every doubt in the form of video. I'll make some shorts. If you give me your doubts, I'll definitely clarify them. And from now we will start a biology chapter, that is life processes. Maybe from tomorrow we can start the chapter, and I hope I am doing justice with this, making the thing simple to you. My main motive is to make the thing simple to you. Alright then, that's all for today. Thank you, and do revise the chapter. Do ask your doubts in the comment. Thank you.